The beach is a sanctuary of tranquility, peace, and relaxation. Many people escape with a book or music, basking in the sun and soaking up that much needed vitamin D. And I used to be one of them, but now I can't sit still. The thought of strolling along the shore without my shell bag and a sense of adventure feels unimaginable. Each day, the tide leaves behind new treasures waiting to be discovered. Here in Southwest Florida, our beaches are truly special, always offering seashells to admire. The real challenge is uncovering the elusive, rare, or bucket list shells that appear only once in a while. Will today be the day I find something extraordinary? Well, that question keeps us returning day after day, drawn by the thrill of the hunt. Now, I personally like to chase low tide, so I am here rather early in the morning looking to take advantage of that low tide. And this particular beach does need a little bit of TLC, and we'll talk about that at the end of the video. But for now, there's a bunch of these really cool tide pools. And if you know what you're looking at, you can kind of find some pretty cool creatures. Now, there is a little creature under this pile of seashells here. There's a little short-spined sea urchin, and we're going to see one. I'm going to leave that one alone. It looks like it took a lot of time to pick just the right shells, and I certainly wouldn't want them to be dropped. So I'm going to leave that urchin alone. What do we have here? Right, that is a banded tulip. Okay, but the animal is still alive, so I'm also going to leave that shell right there. I think I saw another urchin. Yes, I did. So that is also another little sea urchin covered in seashells. Smart creature, but I'm going to leave that one alone as well. Once we find one that is not covered with seashells, we'll go ahead and take a little bit closer of a look. So it does appear as if it's going to be a beautiful morning down here. Oh, the Florida fighting conch. I always just love those seashells. Kind of like an old friend you can kind of depend on. And look at this, a little sand dollar. So the beach almost always has some sort of amazing treasures for me to discover, and today will be no different. We're going to say hi to a couple of beach creatures. Anytime I see animals, I'm going to show you. We're going to find a sand dollar the size of a small dinner plate, and there's going to be seashells. Lots and lots of beautiful, spiky, colorful seashells. So if you're ready to see what all is out there for us today, let's go to the beach. Now, I am at Fort Myers Beach. It is my favorite beach to go shelling at because I get to see creatures along with the seashells. Here we have a short-spined sea star. They're not technically called starfish. They're actually called sea stars. So this is a sea star. Yeah, let me put it. Even though there's really no head or tail, all the arms are really kind of the same. The little creature does look like it should have its little arms out to the sides and its legs down. But technically, it's got 5 arms, I guess. There you go, friend. All right. Let's see what other kind of awesome treasures might be out there for us today. Now, I love coming to this beach, but it has its challenges. There's really no parking down where I go shelling, and you have to walk about a mile. All right, I'm always kind of peeking, make sure I'm not going to pass anything by. So it's difficult to kind of shell where I like to go, which is on the south end of Fort Myers Beach. They are doing some renourishment. We'll just see what happens. And again, we're going to talk about that at the end of the video. This is looking pretty good. All right, we've got a moon snail. Oh, yay! So yeah, that last minute, I want to turn it over and look at the aperture or the opening to make sure it's perfect. It's gorgeous. So that is technically a false shark eye, but it is absolutely beautiful. All right, we got some color popping out here. Here is a little coquina, this little yellow seashell. So that's a coquina. And this is a rose petal telid. Some really beautiful colors. Looks like a little bathing suit top and a skirt. Oh, All right, let's see what other kind of fun seashells might be out here. Oh, all right. Very common, the Texas state shell, the lightning whelk. It is not hard to find them down here in Southwest Florida. And actually, it's one of the 2 seashells that get really, really big. One of those really big, desirable shells. We only have 2 of them, the horse conch and the lightning whelk. So the lightning whelks will get quite large. We have some pretty big shore birds down here, too. That appears to be some sort of heron. So I've managed to run into all sorts of fun creatures at the beach, including birds. Oh, speaking of creatures, now look at how glossy that shell is. So that is a lettered olive, and it is a living animal at this point, and it's a snail, so it's really slow. So I just hung out for a minute, kind of seeing if it is parting the sand. It's kind of like gliding along, and it's using its body, so it will wrap its body around its shell when it kind of dives into the sand. It goes underneath. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of a closer look at that. These animals do not take direction at all, so I kind of just have to like capture what I capture. And it is lettered olive day down here, you'll see. Look at this beautiful arc. So this is a zigzag arc or a turkey wing. Gorgeous seashell. I absolutely love these. They're always brown and white. Oh, they're fun. So that is a turkey wing. And sand dollars. That is another quintessential beach treasure. And Fort Myers Beach lately has had a lot of them. If you caught my videos from a couple weeks ago, it was bananas how many sand dollars were down here. And look, it's like perfect. Now, just because it's white, we know it's clearly safe to take, but that is not the only indicator. So this one is also completely safe to take. It's been, yeah, I can tell it's been kind of hanging around the beach for a little bit, for a little longer than that other one. And look at this one. So this one is alive. So it has cilia on it. It's got hairs that it uses to feed, to move. And they can tolerate being out of the water for a little while. They are, they're used to being in and out of the tide. So what do we got here? Okay. No more sand dollars. We have a little banded tulip. And also I check my shells to make sure there's no creatures in them. Not only the snail itself, but perhaps a hermit crab. Now I might vacate a pea crab, but not a hermit crab. So any crab that needs its shell is going to keep its shell. Finders, keepers. So here's another lettered olive. They have a terrible sense of direction. Terrible. But it's kind of, look at it, gliding along. All right, we're going to keep it moving. We are going to see some other live lettered olives. Look at this gorgeous sand dollar. Okay, this is the one that's about the size of a dinner plate. Now, I know it's very dark. Almost as dark as that one we just picked up, the living one, but this one is not alive. And we know that because there's no cilia on it. It's very smooth. No hairs at all. 0 hairs, very smooth test. That is the name of what is left over, the test of the animal. See, beautiful. Isn't that is crazy beautiful. Now, I do have a delicates container that can take pretty big sand dollars. So I'm in luck today. I did bring the right one. Are there any more? Because for what this was kind of the area that was just littered with sand dollars. Not today. Looks like it's finally slowing down. Oh, it's so pretty. All right, got a couple of treasures already, and I'm not even at the good spot yet. So here's another fighting conch. I like these because they're kind of spiky. The juveniles, I think that's why I like the fighting conchs. They're the sheer breadth of how different they can be. They can be spiky and solid, zigzag. It's a calico clam. And here is a pair of purplish Tagalus shells. So that is a purplish Tagalus. And that brown is just the periostracum. A lot of these seashells protect themselves with an organic coating to their shells. All right, let's check in on the tide. Okay, getting there. It's going out. It's going negative. So it's not just low, it's negative low. And so that's even better. Oh, terrible. All right, we'll get we'll get garbage and glass off the beach. That is a scorched mussel. You all helped me out with that. I had inquired because sometimes I don't know what the seashell is, and there are some of you out there that are a lot smarter than me. So that is a scorched mussel. And thank you for your help, smart people. So there is another lightning whelk. What's kind of cool about the lightning whelk is the opening is on the left. So as we're picking up these other gastropods, like, oh, look it's a live olive. And you can kind of see that it's got its body wrapped around its seashell. And that's what kind of protects it as it's digging in the sand. And that's why those are so beautiful and shiny and pointy. Oh, hello, live olive. You are fabulous. All right, we'll leave you right there. And no, I don't think the letter olives do that like swimming thing with like wings, like the way that other different olive species can do. That is a crown conch. Really nice one too, if I have to say. Nice color. It's got some spikes on it. It's intact. That's a very nice crown conch. Lovely. Not the spikiest one I've ever seen, but still a great seashell. Oh, now this is really just to kind of tell you I pick up a ton of stuff. This video is actually well over an hour long, and I chop it down so I just show you the good stuff. So believe me, I don't just walk to the beach and, just spend a half hour there and pick up all these awesome things. Not quite the way it works. Look at that nutmeg. So there's a common nutmeg. Okay, the aperture is not perfect, and I have picked up many, many, many nutmegs. So at this point, I do have to admit I am a little bit of a shell snob. That's not to say that I believe me, wait till you see the end of the video. I bring home lots of seashells. But I try to be a little picky, or else I would need to rent out a warehouse. Look at that pear whelk. Oh, that's pretty. A little bit of color on that. And then you notice the opening is on the right. So that is a lovely pear whelk. Okay, starting to look messy. This is the way I like a beach to look. Just a little piece of lightning whelk. Oh, and another nutmeg. Check out this aperture. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's much better. So it's another. Look at the size of that too. Oh, it's like, why does it think? I think butterscotch. I don't know. That is an urchin. Now this one is not covered with seashells, obviously. It's moving ever so slowly. So they pick up seashells to hide and for like camouflage. Oh, I see something glorious. All right, let's put this down, maybe in a little puddle or something so it can wait for the tide to come back in. There you go. So that's what a sea urchin that's not covered in seashells looks like. I'm sorry, I got distracted by this beautiful shark eye. Oh, look at the size of that. It's a little blue eye. So sometimes the center of the eye is blue, and we call those a Paul Newman shark eye. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, here we have a little banded tulip with a little hermit crab in it. So this would fall under the finders keepers rule, and that crab found the shell, so that crab gets to keep the shell. All right, little Hermie. There you go. Oh, look, a brittle star. Oh, and it's little tiny arms. So they are supposed to have 5 arms, but it looks like the one that's growing back is just like a little spike, like it's the end of the arm. Let's get it in a little bit of a puddle. They seem so delicate. That's why I'm kind of picking it up the way that I am. But once it's in the water, look at it move. It kind of pulls itself along. Oh, they're neat. So this is a smooth brittle star. We also have blood brittle stars down here, although I don't know that I've ever actually seen one. Oh, they're neat. And look how they really hide. Would have been very easy to miss that. All right, what else is hiding here? A little tinted Cantarus. I think they are swell. It's one of those shells that kind of grew on me. I used to literally I didn't care for it. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. I think they're neat. Ooh. So all those white shells, those are Disctosinias. Relatively common, which is why I'm probably not going to pick any of them up. Oh, look, now that is a lace Murex. It's a little bit lacy, likely where it gets its name from. A lace Murex. All right, we have some more lightning whelks. Now, I had heard the darker ones are male and the lighter ones are female. I actually think that comes from because when the big ones are female and they tend to lose their color a little bit. So I don't know about the other colors. Oh, spots are good. Spots are always good. So this is an alphabet cone. This is one of the more desirable collectible shells. Correct me if I'm wrong. If there's somebody that hates alphabet cones, let me know in the comments below. But oh, that's terrific. Awesome alphabet cone and a couple of lightning whelks. This is another banded tulip. Oh, look, it's got a drill hole in it. Huh. So somebody drilled a hole. Yeah, so some of these sea snails will drill. Apple Murexes, some of the ones that are actually named drills. So they will drill holes into other seashells and kind of slurp out the contents. That is a true tulip. I know it's somewhat confusing because it also has like bands on it. So how do you tell that from a banded tulip? Well, the true tulips come in much different colors. The bands are different and they come much bigger. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. This is exactly what I want to see. Okay, what is hiding here? That's the fun, the hunt. All right, we'll start. Okay, spiny jewel box. Oh, it's pretty spiny too. Awesome. Oh my gosh, I love these. Okay, so this is a ribbed cantarus, but this is like a morph color. It's usually kind of like a tan and a brown color, but sometimes they come in this bright, bright orange. Oh, that is so cool. That is true. I love those shells anyway, and to get that orange color, yay! Ribbed cantarus. Oh, another nutmeg. A little pointy, darling little hardy shell. Gorgeous little common nutmeg. All right. So I decided to take a little cruise down to the south end. And I found a lot of seaweed. So there wasn't really, all right, and garbage. We got this lid of something. Yeah, we're going to take that off. Sometimes like if it's functional, like I did find a bucket once and I do use that bucket. So I went down here and there's some seaweed. There's a little bit of something, but I feel like the good stuff was kind of back up the beach. So that's likely where I'm going to head. But, I like to check it out. It does take me probably 4 to 5 hours to go out and film for just one of these videos. And look at how beautiful. So that's a fighting conch with its gorgeous honey color. It's stromboid notch, a little bit of like brown on the bottom. Oh, we're going to switch right to yuck. So that'll come off the beach. I always take the garbage, at least that I can handle, off the beach. It's a little top shell, a jujube top shell, or a top snail. We have a couple different ones in Florida, but the jujube is really the most common one that we have here in Southwest Florida. That is a slipper. It's a spotted slipper snail. I actually like those. Don't care for the regular ones, but I like the spotted ones. Okay, so that is a ribbed cantarus. The one that I was going crazy that it was all orange, that is the quote-unquote normal color of a ribbed cantarus. I adore those shells. And a little apple murex. Weird, I know. It looks like the ribbed cantarus, and it's just experience. It's just being out there and picking these seashells up over and over and over and over, and you just kind of learn. Plus, I like research. I'm kind of nerdy anyway. All right, what do we see? I see two things. That Florida cone, it's broken, of course. Just a little bit, nice color on it though. So it's a Florida cone, swell, and this, what do we got here? A little horse conch? Yeah, just making sure it's empty. There's no little hermit crabs hiding in there. Don't want any hitchhikers. Oh, and an olive. All right, that was kind of hiding. Yep, giving it the old shine test. So lettered olive, Florida cone, and a little horse conch. All right, anything else hiding out here? Oh, why, as a matter of fact, there is. So an alphabet cone. Isn't that funny? The ones up here are so much lighter. The ones I find down in Marco and like Key Wade are very, very dark. Interesting. All right, there's another apple murex. And followed by coquina. So that's little coquina. Oh, and a rose petal talon. A couple little shells. I don't know what that white thing is. Right, scanning. Oh, almost missed this colorful moon snail. Those are another one of my favorites to find, the colorful moon snail. They have just such a unique shape, and then the bonus is all the gorgeous colors. Colorful moon snail, apple murex, coquina, and rose petal talon. All right, another, it looks like a lace murex. Now the very top, that pink part, that's the proto-conch, and that's what the seashell starts out as. It's just a little, at least the lace murex. Little tiny seashell. Oh, here's a much bigger lace murex. Does need to hang out with some bleach for a little bit, but nothing that can't take care of. Beautiful. It's probably my second favorite thing to do is find the shells and then clean the shells. Now, if you were guessing that that is a true tulip, you would be correct. So it is a true tulip. The banded tulip bands are a little different. And no, it's not garbage. I am not taking that off the beach. If you ever see anything like that, just leave it. Shark eye sand collar. So there's all little baby shark eyes in that. That animal kind of has gelatin and kind of glues its shells together with sand and whatnot. Now this was interesting. Well, it's slippery and interesting. It is a lettered olive, but it kind of has that golden morph to it. So you can find golden olives, but the entire shell would need to be kind of that buttery yellow color. This one's just like partially a golden olive, still interesting. Had some of the quote unquote normal lettered olive coloring along with that yellow. Now this is an alternate talon. So the talon is there's a whole family of different talons. This one apparently is the alternate one. Okay. What is this? Oh, another one of those tinted cantarus shells. Make sure we don't have any stowaways. All right, once I'm satisfied that it is clear and safe. Oh, that is a lovely shell. The tinted cantarus. Oh, I see a ribbed cantarus right in the middle there. Yep. Fabulous. Yeah, I don't pass those by. There's a couple of different seashells at this point. I admit that I might leave, but that's not one of them. So I really do like the ribbed cantarus shells. Oh, look at that. So it's a spiny jewel box. Oh, and a little true tulip that is alive. You can see the little animal in there, so we're going to leave that. But we're going to check out this, well, if I can get this duck clam off it. All right, so that is a spiny jewel box. Is hinged. The hinge on the spiny jewel box is very strong. Cool. And the spinier the better, in my humble opinion. That's a nice spiny jewel box. Kind of a beat up channel duck clam. Probably leave the clam here. I'm going to take that jewel box. And conversely to my videos, when I'm on the beach, I'm actually silent. I don't say anything. I'm in my head a lot. And right now I'm going to let you do that and give you some beach time. Now this, for me, was a little bit of a heartbreaker because I've never seen a living Sanibel Turrid. So this is a living Sanibel Turrid. It's almost black. The periostracum is so dark. It is so beautiful. Normally they look like this. It's actually kind of hard to find them in good condition. I have found a couple. I probably have, I don't know, maybe a dozen of them. But to see one pristine like this, oh, it's so pretty. So that was kind of an exciting find. I'm bummed it's alive. I mean, yay, you're alive. I do like the critters, but every once in a while I kind of wish I was taking home the seashell. So that is a living Sanibel Turrid. Just gonna tuck it in. See what else maybe I can safely take home. So this is a pointed Venus clam. trying to think if I ever even see these other than on Fort Myers Beach. So yeah, they only get about so big. So it's a pointed Venus clam. All right, a couple people have joined me at this point. Again, like I said, it's not all that easy to get down here. So you've either hoofed a good mile or so, or you kind of live local. It's not easy to get to this location. More olives. Now you can really kind of see that it's neat. That its body or is mantle is wrapped around the seashell. Now I sped this up just a little bit. So this is twice as quickly as it normally moves. They're snails. I mean, they're slow, but they're cool. Now that moves for me like the crown conch and a living moon snail. They all have that almost exact like movement, that undulation. Oh, they're so weird. I love it. All right, guy. I can't just leave you here. I mean, I want to move you a little closer to the water. And would you look? So all of those like gouges in the sand, those are other lettered olives. So they're kind of all over the place, which is fun. Which I love experiences like this when you come and there's just a whole bunch of one particular critter or creature. Today it was lettered olives. I'll show you another shot of the beach. Here they are. So all of those little dark areas, all those little gouges, those are lettered olives. Oh, they're so cool. See, they are just everywhere. And someone asked, I think it was that lady that had walked up and said, "What is that?" I said, "Those are lettered olives." And that is a Florida prickly cockle. It is very common. I cannot explain what my affinity is for these shells. Maybe it's the colors, the prickliness, I don't know. And that is a calico scallop that sometimes the patterns on them are so beautiful. I'm lucky because I like just the plain white ones almost as much as I like the colored ones. Really beautiful. And then this is a kitten paw. Now, me personally, typically I can open them. They'll have like a little bit of gap if they're closed when you find it. If I can't open it, I usually leave it at the beach. Oh, goodness. That's going to be really delicate. I mean, really, really delicate. The small sand dollars. So I'm going to put that in my delicates container and hope for the best. We'll see at the end. We'll see if it makes it. Now, I know what you were thinking. What, another alternate talon? No, this is actually a constricted macoma. So they look a little bit like the alternate talons, but it doesn't have like the record player pattern, like those striations in it. So it's a constricted macoma. Well, it sure has turned out to be a pretty day, and I found some pretty awesome treasures. Now, the beach is being renourished. My heart sank. Now, I know that the beach needs it. I get it. And so what they're doing is they're dredging. So they're pulling a pipe out. There's going to be a ship way out in the water, and they're going to pipe sand back onto the beach. So the next time I go to Fort Myers Beach, it's going to be very different. I'm scared. I'm going to be honest. I'm scared. I know dredging, people get really excited because it pulls stuff offshore back onto the beach. But this beach just has such a rhythm for me. So I guess we shall see the next time I go back. And then one last calico scallop that almost looks one of those Rorschach ink blot things. Oh, it's beautiful. So thanks, Fort Myers Beach. Oh, I'm going to really, really hope that you stay as awesome as you've always been. And hopefully the renourishment doesn't really do anything bad. We shall see. So garbage, I did take a little bit of garbage off the beach, 7.55 ounces, but I've been doing this since March 2022, so I've collected a little over 71 pounds of garbage from the beach, and today I took some sand dollars. Look, the little ones made it. I found a couple of them. That saucer one is already getting lighter, so they're a bunch of sand dollars. There were a couple of those lightning whelks. There's a pear whelk, some banded tulips, true tulips, purplish tigeless, a yellow prickly cockle, giant Atlantic cockles, couple of angel wings, coquinas, and shark eyes. We do have some Florida fighting conchs, some spiny jewel boxes, that macoma, the alternate talon, the sunray Venus clam. We have rose petal talon, spotted slipper snails, some of the calico clams, calico scallops, turkey wings, crown conchs, lettered olives, buttercup lucines, there is broad rib carditas, apple murex, a couple of top snails, lace murex, some worm snails, a Florida cone, looks like some of the ribbed cantarus, and then my favorites today were the 2 alphabet cones, those other ribbed cantarus shells, the nutmeg, the colorful moon snail, that little true tulip, the big shark eye, and that one kind of cool calico scallop. So I find this to be so much fun, and I couldn't imagine not going to the beach and doing this. I couldn't imagine not going out there. So Patreons, it means the world to me that you also enjoy the content that I put out there and literally monetarily support me to do the things that I do. I truly, truly appreciate you. Thank you so very much, and welcome new Patreons. I update my Patreon list once a month. Next week, I cannot wait to edit the video. I was a little bit of a baby. I'll explain all of it. Super fun. It's like Cone Palooza. I hope you have yourself a great week, and I will see you again next Sunday.